Well, Nancy Pelosi won't be taking a knee anytime soon. She fell down a marble staircase on a congressional trip to Luxembourg and just had a hip replacement at 84 years old.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Now, you might be wondering what she was doing in Luxembourg. She was over there to commemorate the Battle of the Bulge. And for all you filthy animals who have your minds in the gutter, go open a history book. The Battle of the Bulge has nothing to do with gray sweatpants season. This was a very consequential battle that began on December 16th, 1944. We lost about 80,000 Americans. Now, let me start off by saying I feel terrible that she fell and broke her hip, but this is part of getting older. I used to go and volunteer at the nursing home. Shout out to all the old people watching me right now. You know I love you. But Nancy Pelosi, she has wealth, she has means, she does not need to keep working, but she does not want to give up power. Our country is basically being run by the cast of Cocoon. You've got Joe Biden, who doesn't know where he is. You've got Mitch McConnell, who's being pushed around in a wheelchair. He's falling. He's freezing up at the podium. You've got Nancy Pelosi. She's tripping over her kitten heels and falling down marble staircases. You guys know I have mixed feelings about term limits, but at this point, I think they are necessary. I don't want more government regulation. I feel if you get duly elected, you're voted for by the people, you should be able to serve. But at this point, it's ridiculous. We all watched over the last few years as Dianne Feinstein went downhill as well, and all I could think was, where is her family? Where is Nancy Pelosi's family? Where's Mitch McConnell's family? I know if those are my grandparents or even my parents, I would be stepping in and saying, you know what? Let's come home. Now, Nancy Pelosi, maybe she doesn't want to go home to hang out with her husband, Paul Pelosi. Remember, he was arrested for drunk driving. He's on probation for 3 years. He also looks like a little huckster. He's like, hey, Paulie, I got a couple of stocks to sell you, a couple of nickels, a couple of dimes. Now, I'm not denying Nancy Pelosi is a very shrewd and talented operator in Washington, D.C. She led a coup against Joe Biden, the sitting president. But Nancy, you didn't factor in the second part, which was that they were going to put Kamala Harris in, who's an utter calamity. Now, Nancy Pelosi, she says she can't retire because she's the best one to hold Donald Trump accountable and to keep Donald Trump in check. This is very sad, Nancy Pelosi. There's not a single Democrat you trust to run things in Washington, D.C. It's time to pass the baton to a younger generation. You guys should have been rearing talent in the Democrat Party, but you didn't. The Republican Party, they have a great bench of young talent. I sometimes wonder if Nancy Pelosi has a crush on Donald Trump. I think she likes these macho guys. She likes these alphas. She likes sparring with him. That really gives her a thrill. But honestly, I think she doesn't want to retire because she has enriched herself to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars since being in public office. It's worth noting, though, that for someone over 75 to have a hip replacement, the chances of them living 10 more years, it's only 51%. Someone like Nancy Pelosi, who's 84, there's a very high probability she won't even be around in 3 or 4 years. It doesn't give me pleasure to say that, but that is a fact. I really wish we could get to a place in the United States where folks go to Washington, D.C., they serve a few terms, and then they go home and pass the baton because you lose perspective being up there in the swamp. Someone like Nancy Pelosi, she is incredibly talented. She knows where all the bodies are buried. She knows how to get things done. She knows how to operate, as I was saying, but she does not have her finger on the pulse of what's happening across the country. Donald Trump was able to tap into what Americans were feeling. It's why he won in a historic landslide. Nancy and many others, like Mitch McConnell, they have lost perspective in what the American people want. All right, my friends, thanks for liking and following. Drop a comment. Tell me how you feel about Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell. Do you think we need term limits? As for Nancy, I wish you a speedy recovery. It's probably not fun being over there in Luxembourg, but nonetheless, you might want to think about retiring. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.